Oh, I probably should have what? Oh, I hope that somebody is come on in here with me. I decided to go live on here. Top fans. First and I just really want to see how many minutes they're gonna give me, and I want us to really see if somebody gonna come up in here and join me. And how many? I cannot record on here. I don't. I can, but I should probably go live on Facebook. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. A poll was. Oh, okay. I see. Hey, I'm waiting for somebody to come on in here. Hello. How you doing? I'm here to talk about relationships and how much you really don't like a person, and how do we really actually not get over them, but try not to hate them. How do we try not to hate y'all? I'm talking about our exes, our family members, our friends that we thought was friends. I'm talking about all of that. Hi y'all. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody, please come on up in here. I mean, please, y'all, I beg of you to subscribe. Subscribe if you like it. Subscribe because look, y'all, I'm here to talk. It's called Marcella Shaw. Let's talk for a reason. So I want to talk about relationships and how do we just try not to hate them, y'all? How do we try not to hate them? As I tell you, it seemed like I don't like any of my exes. I don't like none of them. I mean, I don't, and I put it like this: I hate them. I don't. I mean, I know hate is such a strong word, but when a person hurts you, I mean, how do you just not hate them, right? I know time does is work, but y'all, we are human, right? Hey, hey, Sailor. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I support LGBTQ. I even support. Look, y'all will actually see me with a pride, wearing a pride shirt sometimes. I am heterosexual, but I strongly support Pride Day, and prideful people, good people. Okay, good people is what I'm about. I'm just saying that you're gonna see me wearing a pride shirt because I do. I deeply support it, and you know what? You subscribe to my channel, you will find out why I feel so strong about supporting Pride Day. I need my glasses for the heart. Can see this? Hold a heart. What do you mean? Yeah, okay. I am kind of. This is like maybe my second or third time ever going live on YouTube. I usually go live on Facebook. So you know what? Next time I will set up on my laptop. Hey, how you doing, new here? Carbon Trees by Design. Hey, I'm just gonna try to call out the names as I see them, y'all. Please subscribe. Please subscribe, y'all. I'm really in need of subscribers. Um, So yes, I am okay, everybody that's new, I am here to talk about when you get out of a relationship. I don't care if it's just a relationship from a teacher that you didn't like. How do you just not hate them when they're just not good people? How do you get over and just go through that process and be okay? Short amount of time, just so that you can move on and live your life. That's what I'm saying. Like, thank you, thank you. Sub and like, y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for coming and join me this evening. How do we deal with our exes? How do we not hate them for the things that they done did to us? Like, how do we not dislike them so much that it hurts us? That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you can just dislike a person so much to where you hurting yourself. I don't ever want to do that one again. I am over that part. That's the most important part. You don't want to hate a person so much to where you start hurting yourself. Like you feel the pain, all the extra misery, and you're walking around with negative energy, and you just people don't even want to see you coming, honestly. But hey, oh, oh my goodness. I like all good people. It doesn't matter what you are, an Asian, a black person, a Caucasian person, a person of mixed. So like and subscribe. No, I don't, you know, I'm realistic about seeing what I see. Okay. My English teacher told me my freshman year in college, like, okay, she said, Marcella, look, it was some guys that was in a classroom and they were just really jerks. And I like lifting weights back when, okay? And so I was a little bulky and stuff with the muscle. And so these short guys, I guess, I don't know how, I'm 5'3". I mean, who can I intimidate? But okay, I told the teacher, I said, these guys, they're really making it hard for me to exist in the classroom. And so she pulled me outside. She said, well, Marcella, when you first walk into a place, a person, first thing that they're going to do is acknowledge what you are. She said, when you first came into my classroom, what did you acknowledge? I said, what do you mean? That you're my English teacher? She said, no, you acknowledge that I'm a white woman. I said, oh, wow. Yes, I did. I did, firstly, because if she had been sitting down with the students, right, I would have never known that she was even the English teacher. There you go. Facts. Okay. So she says, well, when you come into the classroom, first thing that they're acknowledging is that, what, you're a black woman? And I looked at her, I was like, yeah, we both know that that's not it, right? They all know that I'm a black woman, yes, but I'm a black woman with muscles, okay? I mean, and I'm not talking about like them type of build muscles, y'all. I was bulky, my neck was big, I was bulky, okay? I love to lift weights. So that right there is something that you seldomly see in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, is women of color walking around with huge muscles. So there you go. It says the person that asked me if I like Asian. I love you. I do. Hey, okay, now thank you, y'all. Please like and subscribe if you like what I'm about. And what I'm about is just talking about daily things that everybody goes through, actually, okay? And we all in here to make it, right? We all want to be okay at the end of the day so that we can wake up good in the morning. That's why I'm here. Okay. Like and subscribe, y'all. Now, I want to talk about when we get out of a relationship, and I'm not only talking about that personal relationship with your girlfriend or your boyfriend. I'm talking about that relationship that could be with your mom or your father, or hey, that auntie, that brother, that sister, anybody that you get out of a relationship with, and they hurt you to the utmost, and you don't like them anymore. You hate them, but you hate them to the point of you carrying around so much negative energy that you kind of don't even like yourself anymore. You're doing things to make yourself miserable. You're doing things to make everybody else day harder. Maybe going to work and taking it out on them and stuff like that. Excuse me. But how's everybody doing tonight? For a very long time, but yes, I've been single on and off, y'all. And now I've been single on and off, but like my long time relationship was with a guy that was a total mama's boy. And may he rest in peace. I'm going to speak about him, but I can't say, I have to think that one over. But so I'll talk about someone that's actually alive, okay? So I just want to be fair, all right? Um, as far as what I'm going to even say. So I went back to oh my goodness, I started dating one of my exes over again. I don't even know why I did that. I was just, I was pretty vulnerable. So I went back and I started dating this guy. And I definitely remembered he took me to the point of, okay, I know why I can't stand you. I can't stand you. Not only is he an alcoholic and a cheater, a liar, and you know what? I don't even know why I liked him. I think we can all kind of say that. Like, okay, why did I ever even like you? And then you go back to that person and they just show you absolutely why you moved away from them in the first place. It's like, okay, you were never any good for me. That's why. You're always just that downer. Okay. Always that downer, that Valium you just don't need in your life. Now, have y'all ever just, have you stepped away from a relationship and then went back to that same person? Maybe it could be like years later. Yes or no? Yes or no? I got somebody in here that made that big mistake that I did. um, yes, now my ex-husband, same thing, liar, cheater, same thing. It's like, okay, why am I attracting these maggots for one? And then I give him a whole second chance. I went back and I actually married my ex-husband. I didn't know, no. I don't let me rephrase that. I I got with him when I was 16. And I ended up we broke up, and he came and he asked me to marry him out of the blue. I'll talk about that one right there. And I married him out of the blue when I was 23. Yes. Uh-huh. Divorced him when I was 24. Uh-huh. That didn't last at all. So many reasons. I have no idea why I did this, but he took me for a whole spin, 360, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, 360. Okay. The guy, I was I was single and I was very, very vulnerable, y'all. Meaning I had lost my job, and I had just broke up with someone. So I was all kind of down in the dumps. And here comes my to-be husband. Had no idea that this was going to happen. This joker, he pops up and he was, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm good, but I really wasn't. Not mentally. I wasn't well. So, hey, would you like to go out and eat? So we went and got some food. Came back to my place and we talked. And he says, "Well, Marcella, I've always wanted to marry you. Would you marry me?" What? I had not talked to this guy, seen him, been dating him, or anything in maybe over almost 2 years. hmm And I said the ultimate: I don't love you. No, just look, y'all, I did say that, okay? I looked at him and I said, "Well, Chuck, you know that I don't love you. We have not talked or anything like that." So I was brutally honest. I was brutally honest to the brother. And he was just like, "Oh," like, "Wow, you're saying this to me?" I said, "Yeah. So do you still want to marry me?" He said, "Yeah, I do." I said, "Well, maybe we can rekindle some things or whatever, because this was my first love." And I was like, okay, I hear people saying that, "Oh, well, if it's your first love, maybe we can make it happen again." It's not real at all. Do I have any new people? No, not yet. I'm Puerto Rican. Hey, you. ¿Cómo estás? Do you know? Oh, anyways. Okay, I did that. How you doing there? Okay, now I am talking about us, all of the people that just came in. I am talking about our exes or whatever type of relationship that you step out of. How do we actually deal with getting over that person? And I'm telling my story about how I actually. Uh, I'm not gonna say how I met my ex-husband. That's just a whole nother different kind of story. I tell you, I can write a book about that guy. But he was something else. He is, not was, he is something else. Okay, he's well and alive around here, running around somewhere. So now I said yes, just to tell him I didn't love him anymore. And that's to say, okay, that we could probably rekindle something. It didn't happen. But I take y'all through the waves and emotions. We moved together. We went down to the courthouse. It was whatever, and we got a house. We didn't buy a house. I was about to, and I was just like, no, not with him. I had to remember I was not in love, so I wasn't about to put any money down like that. He didn't have any money, so I was like, no, it's a one-way street right about now, so I don't think so. So I did the smart thing. We rented for about 7 months. We stayed married for about 7 months, and but during that 7 months, it was a wang dang doodle, y'all. I tell you. Okay, we got married. Now maybe 2 weeks, 2 weeks on into the marriage. This is what happens. Um, we are out at Popeye. Now she turned around and I hear this girl hollering, "Yeah, you won't come and see your baby." What? So I turn around, I look because he wasn't looking at her. He was not paying attention to this girl to speaking. Okay, but I turned around to see who was hollering, and she was looking directly at the person I'm sitting with, which was him. Wow. So I want to make sure that my phone is charged. Okay, I got 39 minutes, y'all, so we good. Um, not 39 minutes, but 39. I don't know how much time I have on YouTube. I don't know what they giving me right now, so I will find out, y'all. So just keep in mind, be mindful that I don't know my timing, okay? So the girl is looking at him, and I'm like, "Oh, Chuck, is she talking to you?" He said, I said, "Oh my God." So that was embarrassing. I go home and I'm saying, "Okay, is there anything else you need to tell me?" I'm not even, I know what I married, okay? I was like, "Okay, I know what I married. I know what you are." And so what else is next? He was like, "Nothing." So he said nothing. Mm, but I still have more to tell. Now, excuse me, y'all. Y'all, please, I want y'all please to please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please, please, please. Okay. Love y'all. Okay. So maybe a week later, um, he was, yeah, a week later, his friends, now, mind you, now, I've been knowing this guy since I've been 16. Since I've been 16 years old, I've known this man, meaning that I know his friends, I know his family. Nobody can get past me that if they know him, they know me. So if anybody is new, they're new. Okay, it had to be before me. So this guy, he says he has to go somewhere. I don't know where he went, but here comes one of his friends. "Hey, is Charlie up there?" I said, "No, but he will be back." He said, wait a minute. Okay, I'm confused. He said, "Marcella, you've been around for a long time. Can I speak to you? Come on upstairs." I said, "Bruno, come upstairs. Of course we can talk." I knew he had something to tell me, y'all. I knew his man had something to tell me. Oh my God. He says, "Okay, this is one of his old time best friends." He's sitting up there in my living room and he says, "Okay, you know me, right?" I say, "Yes, I know you. You know me. So let's talk." He says, "Okay, are you Charles's wife?" Oh my God. He says, "Are you Charles's wife? Did y'all get married?" I said, "Yes, we did." "Who do you think his wife is?" He said, "I thought it was Michelle. You know Michelle, right?" I said, "Who?" Michelle. Do I know who is Michelle? Bruno, talk to me like you know me. Then he says, oh my God. He said, you know what? This is his fault, not mine. He said, I don't care whose fault it is. I'm tired of being confused, and I know you. Okay, I don't know the other girl. He said, I thought that he was married to her. But then I come back into town and people tell me that he's married to you. But I just seen her and she told me that they had just got married. I said, y'all, I think this soap opera should be called As the World Turns. Or either The Young and the Restless or the right. Which one, y'all? Which one? Okay. I said, okay. So he's supposed to have another wife. I said, well, he doesn't. I'm it. I said, so who is this Michelle? He said, well, they're living he said, oh my God, you know what? Marcella, he said, tell me what's going on. I said, no, I don't know. I didn't know that he had another wife. Okay, y'all, wait a minute. This guy was a trip. Like I said, I knew I'm going to pause it right here to where Bruno is in my living room and we're having this discussion. And I'm going to fast forward. Okay, I'm right back to the forefront. I said I knew what I married, right? Yes, I did. So I told this dude, I said, you know what, Chuck, I don't believe you. I know that you got a woman. I know you. He said, oh, baby, I can show you my home and everything. He took me to a whole house of his that was furnished, lived in, pictures all on the wall, y'all, clothes in the closet, bathroom kind of dirty and all. What the heck? Okay, I thought I'm like, okay, you paying rent here. So your mama pictures on the wall, your daughter pictures on the wall. It's a little bit of your hair on the sink in the bathroom. So that's proof that a person is living there, right? Oh my God. Okay. Bloop, 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 bloop. Let's go back to the time. Now let's go back to Bruno sitting in my living room on the couch. He says, Charlie's supposed to be living around the corner. I said, no, Charles lives here. But if you say so. And he did. He lived around the corner also. He lived with Michelle as well. Yes, his clothes were there. His clothes were at his house. His clothes were over at her house, and his clothes was also at my house also. Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, wow. And then he said I was wrong for divorcing him. You know what? I was just like, oh my God, this was just only a few weeks into the marriage, y'all. Just only a few weeks. So, oh my goodness. All right, y'all. Do I have any new people in here? I have any new people? Y'all, please make sure that you subscribe and like. I appreciate everybody for being here. Excuse me. It gets interesting. It gets even more interesting. I know y'all saying, what? Really more? I have so much more about this guy. And what we went through. Okay. Now, we're saying, okay, his clothes is at everybody's house in Milwaukee. Okay. We're there. So, Bruno, we had a good talk and everything, much love. And, we talked for about a good hour. Chuck, he was gone. He was probably at his third woman house. Okay. Pathetic guy, pathetic. Okay, so it was a renewal time for my apartment. Y'all, I love this place that I lived in, okay? Anyways, Bruno left and Chuck came a couple of hours later and I said, Chuck, I said, Bruno came. I was smiling. I said, Bruno came. And he said, oh, Bruno came, my man came, he showed up. I said, yeah, he's in Milwaukee now. And I said, you know what, Chuck? I said, sit down and talk to me. I said, why do you lie? You lie. I said, now tell me who Michelle is and why do people think that she's your wife also? He what? Huh? Oh, uh he talking about I said I didn't tell you who he what I what. And so it was just more like ooh ooh ee hee ha ha ha, like the Chipmunk song goes. I don't know how old my viewers are, but the Chipmunks is just like that's an old school cartoon. Anyways, that's a song that they had sang. Ooh ee ah ah ah. Anyways, okay. So he was just like, okay, then. Well, Michelle is someone that I used to talk to, and he got the lion, and I said, just stop. I was in the midst of. We had to move. I had to move. The people. My manager did not like that guy. Nobody liked him. Nobody. So I went through lots of hardship because nobody liked him. And so I hurried up and moved away from that mess. But I was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Okay, so he tried to lie, and I told him, do not lie to me. And he just started pouring out. Okay, the truth is pouring out somewhat. And I told him, I said, well, did you propose to her? He said, oh, no, she just wanted to get married. He lied. So, anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next. Okay, we moved over to the place, to our house, and I was more like, okay, I got to get up out of this. I feel like I didn't feel. I was saying to myself, I felt stuck, and then again, I went through some big time stuff with this guy. But anyways, after we moved into the place, Michelle, I see a whole body coming up to my home. And I'm thinking that it's a mailman. I'm thinking that it might be my neighbors that's welcoming me because it was a really nice place in a nice neighborhood. Now, no, it wasn't. It wasn't neither. It was Michelle. Like, how do you know where I live? How do you know where I live? That was crazy, y'all. That girl showed up. So she stalked me for I don't know how long until I moved. Yep. But anyways, it was her. When I went to the door and opened it up, she walked back to the car, and I was like, "Who?" And I said, "Hello. Like, how can I help you?" Because mind you, y'all, I didn't know how she looked, but she knew how I looked. Kind of guy that would get you killed. Thank God that didn't happen though. So she went home or somewhere, probably around the corner, and she called. I had a house phone. House phones was in at the time, y'all. Yeah, I had a house phone. So she called a landline. Mind you, okay. She called a landline. I spoke to her. I wanted to know what was going on. I said, hey, lady, talk to me. I said, I already heard about your name. I couldn't put a face with it. So let me know what's going on. She says, well, Charles had proposed to me. He asked me to marry him. I said, what? When? So she told me it was around the same time. Actually, he asked her to marry him. And then he came and asked me. And I said yes. She said yes too. Okay. I said yes. And he was not dependent on me saying yes at all. Okay. Because I knew what he was, a mutt. Okay. And he did that to her. So I felt so bad. And I told her, I said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry he did this to you. I said, if I hadn't known anything about you, it wouldn't have happened. We would have never got married. I would have never said yes to a man that asked another woman to marry him and then move on to a whole different human being and marry her. That's some heartless. People kill themselves for shit like that. It's like, why would you do some dirty shit like that? Why? How fucking devious and evil and conniving and grimy do you even need to be on this fucking earth to just rip a whole nother person apart like that? So I hated him. I hated him. Y'all, I hated him for her. I'm not gonna even lie. I hated that dude for her right then and there. I felt her pain and everything, but y'all know how that turned out. She hated me. Michelle hated me too. She hated me. She loved him still. But the person she hated and wanted dead was unfortunately the wrong person, and that was me. So even though I'm like, I told her how I felt, and of course, she knew it was not my fault. And so she was telling me, well, it's okay because I'm seeing someone already anyways. Well, I was like, but girl, you was just at my door. Like I said, don't, okay. I said, look here, we're not going to do this. I said, I feel bad for you and all, but I'm going to tell you something. Don't come back to my house. Do not come back to my house, okay? I said, you meet Chuck when he leave, okay? You call him. You have his number? She was like, oh, well, but he won't talk to me. I said, I'm going to tell him to talk to you before our wedding. I said, you didn't tell them? She said, no, I did not tell them. I don't know how to tell them. They already bought their tickets to come here to celebrate with me. What? Okay. I said, okay, Michelle. This is crazy, y'all. So you know what I did? I went and I told that dude, I said, you pack your stuff and take your ass over to that girl house. And you stay there. I did. I told him, I said, pack your stuff up. This girl has her family coming here. And they came, believe me, they came. I seen, they came. That was crazy. Whew. I told him, I said, you stay over there for a few days to make it believable, whatever you got to do. I said, because bro, I already told you I don't love you. So, y'all, this is crazy. But it's some real life. This is real. This is a real story, okay? It's my life story. But this is real crazy. He said, so are you serious? You really want me to go over there, pack some clothes and go over there to meet her family? I said, yes, to greet them. I said, don't go, you don't have to go now, but make sure that you are there to greet them people and to meet them. Okay. And when they leave, I said, you know what? This girl might kill herself and you too. I said, and me. I said, just do this right here. And he did. Of course, just a mutt, a straight mutt. I couldn't stand that man. I couldn't. I hurried up and got a divorce. It was like a prenup, not a prenup. But I'm so, you know what? I don't know why it wasn't no doggone prenup. Okay, that's about money. It was right after you get married and you not haven't been married long enough to get a quote unquote divorce. So you get that right there. This on the tip of my tongue. Okay. But anyways, he went over there and, spent the night, and he came, I don't know. Yeah, he did. He came back to the house the next day. And I didn't even ask. I'm like, how was it? What's going on? I just kept on moving like I usually do. I went to work, took my daughter to school, and came home. And so the shenanigans and the parade should whatever was over with within a few days. Her people went back, and so he came back to the house, and we really didn't talk about it. We didn't talk about it. I didn't ask him, and he didn't tell me, because that's pretty much how I told him to do it. Don't tell me. And y'all, yes, I was 24 years old. Okay, I was 23, going directly into the age of 24. So I was young, but I always had this old like type of wisdom about myself. Uh, it's not many people that would have been able to do what I did, even though it's not about love. It's not even about liking a person. It's like where's the decency at, and where is the humanity? That's what I was saying. Where is it? I couldn't give her anything back. You know, it wasn't even my fault, but just for to know that I was like in the scene. I felt dirty. I felt like he dirtied me up, and he did in a so to speak. He did, you know. So during that afterwards, it didn't get any better. It was just kind of, I think it made it worse. uh, it made it much worse, because then she's saying like, okay, what kind of woman do you, or wife do you have that's gonna actually allow you to be in my home? And she was such a beautiful woman, y'all. She was so pretty. You know, I told her I didn't, I wasn't in love with them or anything like that. I mean, I was honest with her. It wasn't like that. And I'm far away from being a jealous individual, and I think that's kind of in general with me. I don't get jealous. I don't compare myself, and I don't try to compete. Okay, but if I pop out, I pop out. Meaning, if I want to show up and do something, make myself look good or whatever, that's just something that I do. But it's never to compete with anyone. Okay, the girl started coming back to my house. It, like I said, how did she even know where I lived at from the jump? She was following Chuck because Chuck was going back over to her house anyways. He never really even left the girl alone. So she was actually just telling me stuff like, okay, well, I look, as far as him marrying her, wanting to marry her, he was lying, doing something. Okay, he was doing kind of all of the above, but she was letting him. And me, I was sitting back just trying to look. I invested. I was caught up in the whole situation as far as me moving and living in that house. Okay, living in my house, I paid rent. He did. He did. Yeah, we wouldn't have on rent. We wouldn't have on everything. I'm not doing that with nobody. Okay, you don't have to pay half. But so she came back, and then I would take him to work in the morning, and I would take my daughter to school and come back home, and so I work second shift so I can go to work. So I would always see this car following me. I would take him to work at 5:30 a.m. and it would always be this car behind me. And I'm saying, okay, okay, I feel it. I felt it, and then I started seeing the same car. And by the time I dropped him off at work, bam, the same car is there. Oh, he didn't want that. He turned around. He said, "Oh, that's Michelle." I guess he thought that she was gonna shoot him or something. I said, "Well, she probably should, but she didn't." Um, So she was waiting up at his job, taking him food and people. She told his boss and all of his co-workers that she was his wife. Yeah. She told everybody she would be there. I would take him to work at 5:30. She would be there at 5:30, talking to his co-workers, saying, "That's my husband. I'm just waiting on him just to make sure that he has his dinner." What? They already knew who his wife was. Me. So unfortunately, that right there is a sign of a nervous breakdown, okay? And who would not actually have one, right? Okay. Just to say, now I went through all of this. She went through what she went through. Believe me, she went through it. And me, I was the innocent I was just the innocent person there. And that both of them was kind of beaten up on. He had got put me in the mess, and she was mad at me because I was with him. So um, that was just something else, and so uh, okay, things just kind of chilled out, y'all. I go into the okay, maybe 2 or 3 weeks from there, later on. Yeah, I'm in the kitchen and I hear these people outside of my window. Da, 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 da. And then Chuck comes in. He says, "Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." Y'all, mind you, I heard two people and that's it. And then I kept going on about my day. I didn't go to the window to see what it was. I'm not about that, okay? If I didn't hear my name being called, I'm not gonna be running to the window to see what's going on outside. I don't care. Not my business. And he says, "Oh, I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry." Have you ever had somebody that just know that they so dirty that they tell on themselves? He came in telling on himself. "I'm so sorry, baby. I did not mean for this to happen." Huh? I said, "What? What? Oh, you didn't hear?" I said, "No, Chuck, I don't even know what you're talking about." Oh, I said, "You might as well tell me now." "Oh, well, Katrina was outside with the baby." The fuck? I'm like, yo, I done married Ricky from the projects. Oh my God, y'all. I done married Ricky from the projects. I'm crying over here. I done married Ricky from the projects, y'all. Oh my God. Yes. Okay. The girl that was in Popeye Chicken. I was saying, "You need to come see your baby." Okay. She was outside of my house. What? She seen him at the gas station, he said, and and she followed him to the house. There you go. Okay, y'all. Y'all know that I'm shopping for furniture at this time for my new place. I am. I'm like physically, financially spending money to leave this guy. It's been done and over with. It's tainted. Tainted. I couldn't stand him. I'm like, okay, I can't stand you. I would look at him and just say, "I can't stand you." Like I hated this nigga. I hated this guy. Okay. Now, when I went to bed, this is how I kept him from not touching me. It's like, oh, I will put, y'all remember those biker pants? They right now, I just might as well call them tights. Okay, the tights. I will wear those to bed with my pajamas. Yes, I did. I wore my tights, my leggings to bed along with pajama pants. Yep. And sometimes a house coat. Just don't touch me. Just felt we did. And no, we didn't have a sex life. So I told him, "Hey, yo, do what you do because you're already doing it, bro. It's like you nasty." So I was up under the roof with a guy that didn't like me, and I didn't like him. I shouldn't have did it from the jump. So by the time I let him go, whoo, Ooh, I did not know how, like, I didn't know that I was so underground with toxicity. I had no idea that this guy had took my whole body and dumped it in, excuse me, a dumpster of toxicity. He was just, ugh. Okay. Anyways, I left this guy. I'm going to tell y'all how I left him. I warned him, but you know what? When you're getting ready to leave somebody, I don't care. Don't put nothing past them. Don't tell them, all right? If you're going to leave, leave. All right? Just get up and leave. And that's pretty much what I did. So I made plan A, B, and C, meaning A was to get myself up out of there. And B, know where I'm going to go. C, have me a place to be that's safe. I had all of that. So when I had grouped all of that together, I left. So we were so Chuck and we were sitting in the window, okay, talking. It was about maybe 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. We was just sitting in the window talking. Yeah, me and Chuck, we were sitting in the window talking like nothing happened. See, he was just so used to doing dirty stuff and not having any consequences, I guess, but not with me. He didn't. He always had a consequence with me. But so I didn't change. So we're sitting in the window in the AM time, just talking and laughing. And then here comes this this moving truck, this U-Haul truck thing. Then he looked at me and said, "Oh, I get somebody moving over here." And I looked at him. I said, "Well, Chuck, yeah, somebody is moving." It's me, bro. I'm leaving your ass. Okay? He said, "Marcella, stop playing. That's not your truck." I said, "Oh, yeah, it's my truck. And my shit is about to be in it." Okay? I said, "Dude, I warned you about 3 months ago. I warned you, you are sick and you need some help." And he was looking at me like he was in total disbelief. Mind you, y'all, nobody had came to my door or anything yet. But he did see the truck pull up in the driveway. Confirmation. Again, I opened the door. I said, and then he seen my mother and my brother. So I told them, I said, "Y'all, I got y'all some money. Just come over here, bring the truck for me. Y'all don't have to say nothing to this guy, okay?" And so they did. And I told my brother, I said, "Just start getting stuff." I told him what to get. And Chuck was looking like, "What? You really leaving me?" I said, "Yeah, it's done and over with." Okay. I said, "What you can do is use this truck if you want anything moved." Yeah, I did it just like that. And I slept like a baby that night. That night, I went over to a friend's house. They set up the room for me, and I slept. I remember that night. I went to sleep a little after 10 that night, and I woke up a little bit after 8. Y'all count how many hours that is. That's 9 hours. I learned. You know what? I slept so good that I had no idea what type of misery I was like. I was swimming in it. I had no idea that life was actually good. I mean, how delightful life was. Okay, until I moved away from that. Now, after I did, now the stuff that he took me through, it started settling in. Like, okay, I really can't. It started settling into memories, memories. Okay, memories of dislike and memories of hate memories of a lot of stuff that just ain't no good. So the only way that I really got over that right there was to stay away from the people that was like him. Like after that, I don't, after that, I actually dated someone else that had the same type of characteristics, but they did not view the characteristics until after, like maybe 6 or 7 months after I started talking to them. And I was saying, well, damn, why didn't I see this at first? I wasn't looking for it. Now to this day, I know. Okay, I know now. I was what I wasn't looking for. That I was just actually ignoring the signs as far as okay, it's a different guy, but the same shit. Who wants? We don't want that. So actually, how I got over it was time and staying away from the same mutts. I call them mutts, as in dogs. Okay, I stayed away from that, and the longer I stayed away from people that was like him, it seemed like I got angrier because everything started resurfacing. You would think that things got better after I stayed away from guys that was like him for maybe 3 years, 4 years. No, I didn't. Um, I actually got more. I actually got more. I was out of tune with myself, and I was kind of all over the place psychologically. I was upset about like how could a person say that they care about you so much but treat you so wrong and lie on you, lie about you. I mean, the backstabbing stuff that he did to me was crazy. I tell you, it was real crazy. That you have a guy that's such a cheater and bringing so much drama to my home, to our home, with other women, and then you find something wrong with me. What? That's what he did. He actually found something wrong with me, y'all. How the hell you gonna find something wrong with me? Wow. But he did. It wasn't real. It was fiction. So we can kind of lead out on that one alone. So, but he still took me through the motions of being that narcissism. Okay, that dude was so narcissistic. It was just a damn shame. Okay, I tell you. So after a while, staying away because I tripped up on some guys that was just like him. Now, since I'm not, uh, everything kind of resurfaced, and I now I went into a mean mode to where if a guy tried to talk to me, I would kind of give him a crooked face, like don't talk to me. Oh, you make me sick. That's because you know what, I was left bitter. I was left a little bitter. I was like pissed off about a lot of stuff, and then I started getting pissed off about what this person did, what the other person did, and I was like, okay, I'm the person that picked these guys. And then I was pissed off at myself. It's just like, okay, am I really pissed off, mad at them, or am I mad at me for dealing with it? Am I mad at me for being around it for so long? Am I mad at me for picking this a different dude but the same characteristics? Yeah, I was more angry at myself, y'all, than anything. And yes, I did need to go there and tell y'all this whole doggone story, this real life story, y'all, to say, how do you let go of people that you just that has tainted your system, that has tainted you for for so long? How do you get over that bitterness? Stop picking them. That's how you start. Stop picking people with the same characteristics. When you see anyone, that a person that has the same red flags, Run away from them. Don't run to them. And don't say that you just a person that like drama. Because if you do like drama, when they done with you and mess you up, mess your head all up and mess your face all up because they beating on you or just, got your head so messed up that you don't know what to do and you start looking bad yourself. Believe me, because that's what's going to happen. Y'all better step away. Step away because you're going to be walking around mad at the world. Okay? You can be because you messed up. Because you look messed up. Like literally look bad. Because you don't let somebody drive you crazy. Stop picking those guys. Stop picking those girls. Leave them where they belong. And do give yourself, I had to give myself some room to say, I'm a human being. That right there says I'm imperfect. Okay, I'm God's child. That there is just to say that I'm always forgiven. I'm not going to hold anything against myself, but I refuse, because I'm God's child, I refuse to continuously make the same mistakes with different people. I refuse. Okay? I've done it for so long, but it's like I'm tired. My soul is tired with it and of it. So I just actually let go of a lot of hate, but I'm still dealing with a lot of dislike. Okay? Those are two different words for a reason. They feel different, y'all. When you dislike somebody, you're able. Okay, I'll give y'all a good example. I was outside watering my plants the other day. My ex drove by and he had the audacity to blow at me and wave. I said, "Oh, fuck you." It was just an automatic. It was an automatic. Okay, fuck you. And I smiled and I continued to do what I was doing, and it did not stay with me. I start having any kind of, I wasn't triggered. I didn't had going down memory lane. Ugh, no, I didn't. I'm way past that. Thank God. Okay. So meaning that, yeah, hate and dislike is totally different. It feels differently, but we all want to get to that dislike stage to where you can see a person and still stand your boundaries and say, I still don't like you. Motherfucker, don't act like we cool. We're not cool. I'm not. And don't let nobody say, oh, well, don't be like that. They are not in your shoes. They have not wore your shoes, okay? Be who you are, because if you stop being who you are, they can still slide back into your life. Okay? Because they maggots, y'all. You let food sit for too long, this maggots gonna start coming up out of it automatically. You wonder why? The food just ain't no good. It's no good anymore. It's not meant to eat. It's not meant to even be around. So you throw it in the garbage. Okay. So when you get something, get it while it's good. Get it good and keep it good, okay? And maintain it. Meaning get someone that is totally out of the box, somebody that's totally different mannerisms, okay? Different mentality, different demeanor, different everything. Make sure that they even eat this different foods. Okay, I'm serious, because when you foods matter also. All right, so being healthy, exercising, and make sure that you got somebody with a healthy mind and a healthy body, good hygiene, all of that, and make sure that everything from the sister to the mama is totally different from the other person that you dealt with. That's how you actually let go and just embrace your life. Now, I'm no doctor, okay, but I am a realist that has lived life, okay. I've made so many mistakes and I've learned from a lot of stuff, and I'm in motion. I'm in progress, and I'm such a I'm in like a learning, a progress in motion. I don't know, y'all. I really don't know what to call myself right now. I do call myself somebody progress. Something I'm just trying to improve and just be a better person daily. That's all we can do, right? But let's do something different. That's all I'm saying. Make sure it's different, okay, from here on out. Okay, y'all. I cannot see any comments. I can't see anything, but please do. I see some of them, but I can't see all of them. Next time I will have my laptop, okay? Look, I enjoy talking to y'all. I really did. But next time I will have my laptop so I'll be able to bring people in with me. And let me know. Leave a comment and please do like and subscribe, y'all. I hope I didn't bore anybody, all right, with my story. But like and subscribe. I appreciate everybody being in here with me. And leave a comment and let me know, like, what next topic do you want me to talk about? Okay. Whatever y'all want to talk about is what we're going to talk about. Um, I think really I just kind of want to leave politics alone, but I do want to stay informed. And that right there, I'm going to bring it to the table. I love to read, y'all. So it's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about as far as being informed, but not, because actually what's going on right now, it has brought us together more than anything. That's what I think. I'm just starting to see a lot of people come together like, okay, no, you're not going to treat this person like that. And it's going to be like this. And we all kind of just come together. That's how it should be. Because at the end of the day, skin color does not matter. It's about if you're a decent person or not. It's about if you don't mind if I'm choking, if you don't mind patting me on my back. I don't care what skin color your hand is before you pat me on my back. Just make sure that you do it. That's how I feel. Okay? Because if you're going to do that, that means that you are a good person, because I do know people that don't mind seeing a person choke. Okay, they will walk away and be like, I don't have nothing to do with that. It actually happened to me before in Pick and Say. I was choking. I had something going on with my asthma, and that's what's going on right here, y'all. I'll talk to you about that later. But it was something going on with my asthma, and I was sitting up there and just like choking, coughing. Nobody. My daughter was asking people to help. Nobody would help. That Pick and Save was packed, and I actually seen people that I usually say hi to. Not one person. I turned around and I was near some water. I got some water, and I caught my breath. I think it was a bag or something like that I had grabbed onto. Yeah, yep, I got me a plastic bag and I started breathing into it. But yeah, but yeah, nobody, out of all colors of hands, no, not one of them hit my back. Y'all, please don't ever be like that, my friends. Okay, that's some ill behavior right there. But you know what? Before my phone, oh, they gave me longer than an hour and 10 minutes, y'all. That's how long that I've been talking. Tell me. I hope I did okay. All right. This is my very first time going live and actually having people come in to join me. So, yeah, I hope I did okay. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. And I will definitely try to go live more. So I am creating more content and doing more videos so that I can keep y'all interested. And I'm not going to stop. I'm going to be consistent, y'all. Okay. And I'm going to go live at least maybe a few times out of the week. I'd rather do it like that. so I can get more people to come on in and join me. Y'all have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow. Mañana. Buenas noches. Good night.